Good morning to you and happy Thursday.
Pre-Friday.
I know, it's great to be here alongside luxury real estate broker and local real estate celebrity Shana Acquisto. Thank you guys for joining us on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Very good. Episode number?
590.
591.
Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you for nailing that. And then what do we have for roll call, Shana?
Roll call. Who is here?
Yeah.
We're happy to see your names, which to us it's like seeing your smiling faces this morning.
Extremely
and we're
similar.
keeping track of who's here and who's not. So thank you for joining us.
Yep. If you want to be on the nice list, then join us each day.
We're checking it twice.
Right? And if it's your first time joining us today, then please check in your full name. We like to know your full name. Include your middle initial.
And how you found us.
Yes.
Who invited you?
It's good to be sharing. We're all about the sharing because sharing is caring.
That's right.
And we do have 3 topics for us today here, Shana. So we're going to talk about how repair negotiations affect sellers' temporary leasebacks. This is kind of like a sticky situation here.
And I'm excited for the newer agents or even veteran agents that might be joining us this morning because this is a really hot topic right now we need to talk about.
It is. So let's discuss that in total. And then we have the new iPad 5 for realtors and how that could help you out.
You know, I have it.
Hold that bad boy up. Right? There it is. Whoa, hey.
There it is.
All right. Very good. So we'll go over that and what that could possibly mean for you and how it could help you out. And then OnX Maps. We're going to discuss that one here. It's a nice tool. It has a ton of different capabilities. We have a username and password.
Really cool.
We can share that over with you guys. I think it will really help you out in a lot of different cases.
And I bet a lot of people around here don't have that.
I know.
So
very good. I'm excited for all those. And then we're going to have a real estate word of the day, Realtor Mobile Tech. And we'll describe what that is there.
Okay, ready?
You feel good about this?
I feel great.
All right. So how do repair negotiations affect the seller's temporary leaseback? That's what we're going to discuss right now with local real estate celebrity Shana Acquisto and luxury real estate broker. She just happens to know quite a few things, and this is a sticky situation right now.
Sticky.
So it is extremely sticky because we have repair negotiations, and that goes on during the contract.
Yep.
And then a lot of times right now we're getting this temporary leaseback that's going on. And how do these two things affect one another?
Well, in the seller's temporary lease agreement, the now tenant, who was the seller, is responsible for the repairs. Whether they caused them, whether they didn't, it clearly states that in the leaseback. So whether we like that or not, or whether someone else says that's not how it is, that's how it reads. And we go by what the contract says. So here's a situation.
Very good example you have.
Say you are in the midst of a contract during your option period, and the buyer discovers that your HVAC, right? Let's just use that as an example, is really old and it's not really functioning as it should per the inspector.
Okay.
So
that's kind of common. I mean, it could be one of those things.
So you guys decide, you know what, we understand, we're going to give you a credit in lieu of the HVAC. We're going to give you a little bit of credit. You came in way above. We're going to be nice. We're going to give you like $10,000.
Okay. Again, seems extremely logical.
So, one of two things. Either it comes off the price or you apply it towards closing costs. Okay? So, either way, we know when we negotiate a repair in lieu or a credit in some way, shape, or form in lieu of repairs, it's typically just shown as a dollar amount, either off the price or credit, right? So what happens is we do that because once you submit that to the lender in an amendment that this is in lieu of repairs, the lender now is like, what repairs? We need to know.
There's something wrong with the home.
There's something wrong with the
not
home.
brought back
What repairs
to
are they?
Yeah.
I need to see the inspection. and it just unravels from there. So let's fast forward. We get to closing. Seller is now in a temporary leaseback. So they become the tenant. Day 3 of their 30-day leaseback, kaput. The whole HVAC just fails. It can't be repaired. What happens? Well, according to the way the contract reads, they're responsible for it. So if they go back and they're like, hey, we gave you that credit. Okay, well, where does it say that in the contract? Well, I sent you a text or I sent you an email. You can't rely on that, guys. What you have to do is think of this. So when you negotiate any repairs in the contract, or if you know that something is maybe questionable, then when you are creating that seller's temporary lease, in number 11, modifications, you need to outline a couple of these things. Buyer or tenant's not responsible for HVAC repairs or whatever it may be. Just identify it. Keep it simple. We're not practicing law. We're just stating an actual fact. And negotiate that in, okay? Because the last thing you want is for that to happen, because it's not fun. And people are going to get very emotional and upset over the situation. So we have to be careful with all the repairs. We've talked about this before, about how the tenant is responsible for all the repairs. And it clearly states that in the contract. So from my perspective, there's a Texas property code that applies in residential leases, okay? And that is something that is identified in the property code. But they don't mention that in the seller's leaseback. So we can't assume or, give our opinion in this process. What we have to do is protect our seller who becomes the tenant. On the flip side, the buyer, okay? You also want to, protect them too. So just think of these repairs and the condition of the property. So if you have someone that has tons of stuff in their home and they're going to have to move it out, you should probably collect a deposit. And a lot of times people do not do this because they think, well, this person's lived in it this whole time, no big deal. And sometimes I see a $200 deposit, $250 deposit. Is that enough? Collect the deposit, because the deposit is outlined in how it gets returned in the lease agreement. So they have 30 days. The new buyer has 30 days to release their deposit after they have submitted their forwarding address. So they have to do that. And then they can't just keep it. And I think that's where a lot of people think, wow, I'm not going to give a deposit. All they're going to do is just try to keep my money. Well, no, there's rules in place that they can't just do it. They have to, have a written itemized statement of why they're collecting it. So another point of this is if you're in your home and you're going to move out, you've given a deposit, and there's a certain condition of the home that was addressed and the buyer is clearly aware of. We have scratches on the floor over here. No big deal. We're going to replace our floors. Identify that in your lease back, because they could come back and say, you scratched the floors and I want your $1,000. So you see where I'm going with this. There's different scenarios that could come into play here, and you have to protect your client and do this during contract negotiations, because once it's passed, you can't really expect somebody to be amendable to come back and agree to something like that after the fact. Like, not doing that. And then what it does is it kind of puts a red flag up of, oh, well, I could do that if it goes bad. So you get my point. Please be careful with these repair amendments. They're a little scary to me. I think they work great, and I think they serve the purpose of allowing someone to not have to move twice. But consider the condition of the home and the inspection, and is it really worth it? It could be worth moving out temporarily to not have to go through this. So, just depends on the situation.
Yep. So just make the repairs, and then you're all good instead of cash in lieu of.
Yeah.
And
Most
then that's all
things can
completed.
be repaired. I mean, they really can. So that was a little extreme. The fact that the HVAC goes out and cannot be repaired, they can normally be repaired. May not be up to a certain standard of the new buyer, but all you're doing is making sure it's running as it should for the age of the home, as it was when you sold the home. So
Very good, Shauna. That was a really good topic and super in depth. You even knew it was point number 11 in there. That's what makes you so amazing. There you go.
is it?
It certainly is. Hit the bell. Hey, the new iPad 5 is out in Realtors. This could help you out. Shauna, show us the old one, show us the new one. You're a luxury real estate broker and you bring this with you all the time.
I love my iPad. I make notes on it. You can do everything on your iPad. It's just like a larger version of a phone, but a lot of the apps are desktop. You can have the desktop version.
So that's the older one, and this is
Yeah.
the newer one. I
Yeah.
think they're the exact same size. They have some upgraded cameras that are in here. This is the larger one. You love the pen, right?
Love it.
Very
Yeah.
good. So that helps you out quite a bit. And you use this all the time when you're
I
out
do,
there, right?
yeah.
And what I think helps with real estate tech, specifically the iPad, is it makes you appear way more tech savvy.
It is funny that when I have that and I'm writing on it, I get a comment every time. Wow, what is that? How do you do that? Is that an iPad? So it sparks a lot of conversation.
It seems like a super simple thing, but then all of a sudden you have this, and especially when, like the one you have is connected to the internet, right? So you get mobile service on it, and it acts kind of just like a cell phone that you can look things up on the internet and pull them up. It's easy to share and show, and you can stand it up,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of different items with it. So we have a link for this that we're going to chat in. We're going to split the screen, and we're going to just kind of show you off a couple of the options that are available for us. So as we take a look here on the split screen, thank you, Omkar. That was extremely well. Great how you did that. We see that we have the new 5th generation one out, and that one does have 5G service on it.
But it
just
only
depends.
has 2 colors.
2 colors, yes.
That's okay.
Would you like more color options?
Well, look at the 4th. 4th
Yeah,
has a
the 4th
variety.
generation has a bunch of them for sure, yes. Well, that's the Air. That would be kind of a little bit more common. And then we have the iPad. They have the smaller ones,
Yeah.
right? But the Pro is the one that we're kind of looking at here. It just seems like if you're going to make an impression, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I like the big one. It doesn't matter on the color. You put a case on it anyway. I was just kidding.
Yep. So we do have the 2 kind of, I'm sure they're probably the most popular color choices with the space gray, and then it's just, I don't know if it's a silver or whatever that is. So it shows you the prices for them, and if you have cell service on them. I do kind of highly recommend the cell service. It's not all that expensive to add it to your plan. I don't know, I think it's $15 a month to add cell service to it, and it really seems to work out.
Yeah,
You use this all the time,
I do.
right?
I take it everywhere.
Tell me some things that you can do on it. We'll go back to just talking to us here.
Something that I do a lot is I upload into my Notability app, which, that app is my favorite app. I upload a home inspection into Notability, and
Okay.
I'm able to make notes on it in Notability and then send it right back to the client, and then we can have the conversation of, let's go through these points, and they can see my notes. You can also upload a contract and have your client sign in Notability, and it makes it super easy and convenient.
So that's Notability, and they have a pen with it. So let's grab the pen, and we'll be able to show that off for you. I think that that's very, very helpful. Yeah, nice. It's a good pen. And then there's a couple of different tips that kind of come on it in case you
Yeah.
have any challenges if you need to replace them. But it has a tip on there so that you can write.
Here's a tip.
Yes.
Make sure, so you have to charge it on your iPad, okay? You have to charge it in this way. But you want to always store your pen somewhere else.
This
right?
sounds like there's a specific reason you're telling us this.
Yes, I actually had this in the back of a seat on the airplane, and I guess when I pulled it up, the pin came out or fell off of this, and I could never find it. So I'm sure that's what happened.
Well,
So
so
if
we
you
got
have
to
it
buy
in
that pen
case-
again.
Yeah.
Those things are going to happen. But now talk about real estate specific things that you do besides using Notability. Like, how does it work with
Well, your
setting up?
search, you
Yeah.
have, you have your MLS that's available on your iPad. And like I said, you can go to the desktop version, not the mobile, because sometimes mobile versions of things, you don't get all the features. You're not able to, maneuver in the same way. So a lot of the apps have desktop version that you can use on your iPad, which is very helpful.
Very good. So that would help you out there. And this would go for you. You've wrote contracts on there. I mean, there's all types of things
Yeah.
that you can do.
Yeah. Your zip forms. So we pay also to upgrade our zip forms to where you have the mobile version automatically. So you don't have to pay for that. So your zip forms will work on your iPad. That's a feature. That's a feature of Acquisto Real Estate.
What about OnX Maps?
OnX Maps that we haven't talked about yet, but yes. So if you're out in the field, you can pull up OnX Maps. That's going to be another topic that we're going to have. And you can, if you have GPS, or
With the
if you
mobile
have
version.
the mobile version, so you can walk around and see where you are on the iPad, which is really beneficial.
And then once you download that map, you don't necessarily have to be online because
No.
sometimes you go to some rural
If you have
places.
bad service and you're out in the middle of nowhere that doesn't have good service, then it's automatically downloaded and will function. So it's really cool.
Pretty good, Shauna. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You do a great job of utilizing real estate technology, and I would highly encourage anyone else out there to look into the right device. And now that you know that the new one came out, it has a better camera, so that will help you out.
Yeah,
So
I'm
if you're going to be
excited.
zooming more
gotta
often on
switch it
it,
over.
then you'll be able to go ahead and do that.
You can Zoom. I do my Zoom meetings on my iPad, and I'll set up my iPad and Zoom, and then I have my computer if I'm having to do anything else or look up something, or if it's a really boring Zoom, you can work. Just kidding.
Very good. You could watch TNT on it.
Yeah. And another thing, when you're on vacation, you can stream. A lot of the hotels now will have where you can, we have Netflix and Hulu and everything, the app on our iPad, and we can stream it and watch movies on a TV in our hotel.
Wow. Very good.
It's worth it.
There's a lot of different things you could do, and we seem to upgrade Shauna's
Yes.
technology a little bit more frequently than possibly most. But what we always do is then we'll sell the old device and get the money back, so it's not really that
And they
expensive
do
to
hold their
continually
value.
update.
They do hold their value pretty good, as long as they're not completely damaged. But yeah.
So there you go. It's not all that expensive. Look into it, see if it helps you out. And this is one of the most affordable ways that you can be perceived to have a lot of knowledge and to
Yeah.
be tech forward.
And it's not that hard.
No, it's really not.
So hit the bell.
Hey, OnX Maps. So it's O-N and then an X, like standing here, Maps for Realtors. And how does that help you out? This is luxury real estate broker Shana Acquisto, and I happen to be here talking about OnX Maps. So we're going to pull that up so you guys can
Okay.
kind of see what's going on here. It's amazing. It's a product that I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
We found it kind of out in Montana. It was where we started there, and it's something that we brought back, and we're going to kind of discuss it right now. It helps out a lot.
Yeah, it
A
does.
lot.
So we have an account. So if you are a part of our real estate family, we have this shared, this username and password, and it's really cool because what you can do, and we have a couple of states that we've purchased, but you can be out and it does a few things. You can find out who owns a property, like it's kind of like instant tax, that you can get all the tax records, find out who owns it, see the boundaries, find out so much information,
And then
know
it
where
works
you're.
with GPS.
Yes.
So what you're able to stand where you are and be like, oh, who owns this piece right here. And then you can see who owns the neighbors and what's going on. So there's a lot of great information that you get on the go. We shared the secret in Vault with you guys so that you can access it.
Yeah, it's cool. So in Montana, we tend to go out to properties that have very or no cell service. So this is a great way when you download it that it continues to work and you know where you are, because you could be out there and if you can't get directions, you could get lost super easy. So when we contacted OnX about, getting this supreme premium service, I asked them about multiple states. So we were able to get Texas, and we can get other states. So we went ahead and bumped it up and got the premium account. So we have multiple states. So I have not really utilized this in Texas yet, but I'm going to, because I think it's super cool. And when you're showing that off to people, I think they're going to be impressed. This is typically a hunting application. So when people are out hunting, they know where they are.
Or hiking or trail guiding.
Anything.
There's like a ton of different applications for it.
Yep.
And it would work on your iPad.
Works on the iPad. Yes, it does.
Very good. So I really, really like it. It's came in handy a ton of times. In particular, one of the properties we were looking at there backed up to a bunch of state land or federal land, and there was a bunch of trails on it. So what I was able to do is walk out and see where on the property you were in relationship to it, to understand the property boundaries so you don't walk over it. I actually had one property that the homeowner that owned the property next to us was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Right? And we were, "Why are you on my property?" And I was like, "Actually, I am. I'm over the line. You are correct. Let me move over here." And now I can see that very clearly, right? And so we wanted to find out where the property lines happen to be. That's perfect. And you can also see what the topography is. There's so many things that you can.
There's a lot of layers.
Just apply layer after layer after layer.
You can see like there's a lot of trails. If you're on a trail system, you can see the different trails.
Yep.
You can change. Yeah, you can change to different views.
There's just so much that goes in it. The satellite view, if you want to see like what's up around the corner, then you can totally see that. You can apply all these different layers that I'm a huge fan of. And then it can show you exactly where you happen to be at right now at this moment.
I would download it.
Yeah,
and
as
play
I go
around
in
with
here,
it.
I would
It's pretty
totally,
cool.
oh, there's a website for it. Let's show that off
let's
instead
do
of
it.
me like just showing my phone.
So if you are on a mobile device, you will have to download the app
Yep,
for it to work.
that is very true. And so here we are with the website. We're going to chat this in so you can take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen, and study it in your own free time. But it is kind of an off-road thing that you can use for jeeping, for motorbiking, whatever that happens to be, and to go ahead and hike. So it's something that you could be used there, and for hunting and for real estate. There's so many applications for it.
Yeah.
So if you want to be carrying back a wild turkey,
I bet Megan has this app.
I would agree. And as I would say, her husband probably does as
for
well.
sure.
Right? But it's just amazing.
It is really cool.
So check it out. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Just taking a look right here, I can see the spelling of my neighbors. If like maybe I didn't understand, like maybe you don't know the person that lives across the street and what their name is, then you'll have it all right here. It's super handy to be able to see what's going on. And I don't know, huge fan. So many applications. Download it and try it before you actually need it.
Yes.
Because then you'll have a problem with it. Again, it's shared in Zoho Vault if you work with us here at Acquisto Real Estate. Shana.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, I'm wearing this is it Schnees? Schnees hat. Bozeman, Montana. We met the owner of it, Kurt Schnee, and they make their own boots in Italy. Kurt?
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's a cool guy.
Super cool guy. So if you're ever there, give him a shout out. What up, homie? Today's real estate word of the day is going to be Realtor Mobile Tech. I'm here with luxury real estate broker Shana Acquisto. She's going to go ahead and define it for us. She's going to use it in a sentence, and then we're going to quickly discuss it. So Shana, hit it for us, please.
Realtor Mobile Tech, any technology that is mobile and can be carried with you to make your job as a realtor easier. A simple way to show your clients that you are very tech savvy. The iPad is a great example of this.
Very good. Hey, you have an iPad with you, don't you, Shana?
I have an iPad with me.
Perfect. So go ahead and pull that up, and you can show that off to people. And then we're going to go ahead and use it in a sentence.
Okay. So when I'm out in the field and I need to find photos in our work drive, I can pull them up in the iPad.
Very good. That's a great use of Realtor mobile tech. So is the OnX Maps. Is another clear example of it. That's a piece of software.
You can do a sentence too.
I can?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
I love technology, specifically when it's mobile and it's Realtor mobile tech. It's even better.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Discussed it, using it sentence. We're done. Well, that's a wrap for you guys today. We have an amazing background behind us. Let's just go ahead and let you see a little bit more of that. Well, it's because we're high up. We're in the clouds. So it's more of a cloudy.
Breathe.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little altitude for you. Thank you guys for joining us today. It was a great Thursday. We're happy to have been here for you. We covered a few different topics that should help you out.
Yes.
If you just take advantage of it each day and learn just a morsel.
A morsel.
A morsel or more.
Not a
Semi-sweet? No.
Sweet morsel.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just no, that because you'd probably be eating chocolate then, right? Is that like you make chocolate chips with that? Okay. Well, imagine the semi-sweet morsels we gave you. I think they were super sweet morsels.
Yeah, I do
We
too.
talked about the iPad. We talked about OnX Maps, and we talked about the repair amendment and how that affects us when we specifically have seller leasebacks for an amount of time and when credits are given. Wow, there was so much that went on here that you can learn going forward and can keep you out of trouble. Shana, you're brilliant.
Please keep us out of trouble.
Shana, you are brilliant, and it's always a joy to get to work with you every single day.
You too, Mike.
Hey, no problem.
I love
Very
it.
good. Thank you, guys. Happy Thursday. See you later. Well, it's time for behind the scenes here, Shauna.
Picture time.
Repair negotiations.
Oh, I do.
You have that? What do you have? Repair negotiations. Let's get just a picture here first. Nice. Thanks for pointing. Great job. Let's hold up your iPad. Just pull that bad boy up.
So repair negotiations is the first topic after that.
Perfect. That's fine. She's just negotiating right now.
Alright. Now,
Oh.
No, so you should be writing on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll get it.
We did that one again.
Yeah, we're going to do that one again.
yeah. Alright. It's coming up now.
Okay? You couldn't see your iPad in here because it wasn't up high enough. You're going to have to write awkwardly high.
And now.
Very good. All right. And then we
Alright,
have real estate
Second
tech.
topic was new iPad for Realtors.
New iPad. Can I have that other one?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I'll hold this up.
Should I throw this one out
You hold the other one.
in the trash?
Well, yeah.
Getting rid of this one.
No.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. I don't know why I say perfect after every one. I don't know if they're even good, but I'm just glad it's done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and
OnX
OnX Maps. OnX
Yeah.
Maps.
Yes,
Perfect.
And now.
Good. Thank you very much, sir. We covered each of
We're
those.
gonna have two more.
Yeah. We have a word.
Oh, word. What's our word? Mobile tech.
Realtor mobile tech.
Okay. Very good.
Now.
Nice job. All right, we can't do any more today. We're exhausted.
We'll do
Just-
2 tomorrow.
We'll do them tomorrow.